Bang! Neeves Knives, I'm Jared, and today we are talking about a knife that I've actually had for a little bit. Started with the large one, which this is typically like my size knife, and I actually did really like it. And there's a lot of reasons why, and I'm going to go through why this thing is such an amazing knife. However, recently a smaller version came out, and while I did like it, you know, I'm always a little bit fan of just a little bit bigger. So I didn't give this thing the time that I should have and to really feel what it was about. And, you know, that's my bad. But this little guy is so awesome. It's so awesome. There's so many reasons why too. So one, this is very compact, but not too compact. It's like the perfect compact, like literally the perfect size compact knife. Now, this guy is obviously a full-size knife. It's a big knife. You have a lot of room in between here, you know, between holding here and choking up here, but it feels really good. You know, when you look at that, those ergos and the blade, you wouldn't think they would work in a little compact blade, but wow, it does. We have, you know what, let me just show you this little card really quick. So this is the card for the little ones. You can see it is designed by David Jin. Shout out to him. We have M390 with DLC coatings. You can see all the other details. Now, the locking system is another part that's really awesome about this. It's not just a conventional button lock. It actually is a liner lock with the button attached. So, nice detent, nice lockup. And we have 3 forms of deployment that have a perfect detent for every single deployment, regardless if it's, hit the table, regardless if it's the front flipper or the regular flipper or the hole. All 3 of, well, and the thumb flick, all of them are really good, like great. And both of these feel very consistent as far as how they feel, the smoothness, which I like to see, because I can't tell you how many times I've gotten 2 or 3 knives from a company and one feels off, or one feels good and the other one doesn't. These feel identical. That's always a good sign for consistency. Now, the DLC, I love DLC. I think DLC is a great little touch. You know, it's diamond-like coating, the most durable coating we have for high temperatures, for wear, for just about everything. You see it a lot of times on firearms. Now, obviously, we have the 2 different colors in the fat carbon fiber, which is beautiful. But the next part, why this is awesome, it comes with this shape and this choil. So if you look, we have a harpoon straight clip point. So basically a drop point, actually. Yeah. So we have a harpoon drop point blade with a beautiful grind. It's a perfect thickness of where it's not too thin, but it's not thick. It's nice and slicey, but it's also not brittle. And then you have this spot right there, right? Well, one, for use. Let's just talk about use first. Because the handle being the shape it is, the control I have with this tool is crazy. I feel like I can cut like in a straight line backwards, like that type of shape. Like it's like almost like it's meant to be, right? And because of it being flat, it actually feels really good in like these pinch grips. Like you almost don't want it to be contoured. Then also like in a regular choke up grip, you know, you have tons of control that way. I could technically cut backwards just fine. But this choil area, you know, while it looks very futuristic, and that's another thing we're going to talk about here in a second, it has a lot of functionality because this choil, you can see how far that gap is. This is so good for sharpening. Like this is perfect. Now, the stop pin does hit right there. Kind of wish it hit back here, but it's fine. Like, I don't think you'll ever remove that much steel from this edge. That is a lot of life. And then I think at that point, I'm not sure you'd care anyways. But anyways, it's good. And it allows you to have such a comfortable, this is important to me for somebody who sharpens, right? Because I can hand out a whole bunch of knives to different people to tell them to sharpen. And there's going to be some knives that just, they're kind of awkward to sharpen, or maybe they don't even look awkward, but when you get them in hand, it's like a little bit difficult to hold the angle perfectly. It's hard not to hit the plunge grind. There's just little difficulties. And this feels like it was designed to be sharpened, if that makes sense. Like from the shape, the size, the choil, the blade shape, everything, the geometry, everything is perfect for sharpening. Like I feel like I could teach anybody to sharpen this knife. So this is a 1200 grit ultra sharp diamond plate. They made some new ones. We got a 2200 and a 3000. I normally don't recommend over 1500 grit for diamond plates because they can wear out quick, but I'm going to test them out. They just made them. But my point by all this is this pinch is so good, and you have the distance here for the choil area, so you're not even if you overstretch, you're not going to hit anything. But that also gives you the ability, even for like a push when I'm going across a stone, I have so much control with this spot right here and this spot. It's like it's perfect for me to hold my angle. I can even use my thumb as the angle guide and literally use just one hand with this knife. But if I did want to use two, it has so much control, and I feel really, really good about my angle holding abilities, and it feels very comfortable. It feels like something I can do over and over and over. And then I always say this, it's good to pinch up all the way up to the blade, right? This gives you all that room to get all that control all the way up on that blade when you're doing the pulling towards you passes. But man, I'm telling you, this is something that's very easy to sharpen up, very easy to appreciate as far as sharpening and everything else goes. Also, by the way, I already did sharpen this up to 650 grit. So me moving to 1200 grit already. So the edge I had on it was a 650 grit. Yes, I've been using it, but it's really easy for me to continue right now at 1200 grit a week or so later. If you do want to check out these diamond plates, I will have them linked down in the description. Like I said, these are from Ultra Sharp. So is this stone holder as well. Damn. That is impressively sharp. Like, impressive. Whew. Wow. Wow. And that goes for the large one as well, but obviously the small one even more so because there's less blade, right? So less sharpening required for learning. Now, with all that said, right, with all of that said, we're talking about a high functioning tool here at this point. But it has this futuristic look that normally screams not functional, right? That's usually the way it goes, right? Beautiful floating backspacer, by the way. Usually when you get this much detail and intricacy and all these lines and all that this has, usually that means that it's not going to work well in the areas of which you want a conventional knife to work, right? Because the simplicity of a knife, we need that, right? That's what's functional, right? The functionality of certain tools is designed a certain way because those features are important for the user. So usually when you go out of the box with the design and you try to make it so futuristic, it usually has some downsides. But in this regard, it's all upsides. T8 hardware all the way around. Love to see that. The button, it protrudes like big time. The one thing, no, maybe not. I was gonna say, I I thought I might accidentally hit, was it on this one? Yeah, so on the large one, if I reverse flick it, I touch the button if I do it left-handed. That's only left-handed because this is a very easy knife to open and close with both hands. So it has a reversible clip. You can see it's got the replacement plate right there. So this is great for righties and lefties. But I'll say this one, I don't have a problem with the button. So that must be just the large one. The action, let's talk about the action really quick. The flipper tab, you know, beautiful light switch. You know, you don't want to push button these because the flipper tab will come around and hit you. So you just light switch it. But like I said, great detent. The front flipper, while I'd love the jimping to be sharper because it is not sharp jimping, that'd be one downside to me. It works so good. How can I complain about a front flipper that works that good, right? Then the hole deployment lands perfectly, exactly where you want it. And this is very fall shut action. You know, as soon as you pull that liner completely out of the way, great thumb flick. Man, the action. And then you also have the button swing. So I take that back. 1, 2, 3, 4 deployments instead of 3. So all in all, I'm glad I pulled this out and I really gave it a good go because I feel like I slept on it. I did. I slept on it. I for some reason, I was just like, man, I already got the large one. I like the large one, right? The large one's badass. And it is so badass. So you would think I would be like, well, I love the little one. And I, you know what, another thing really quick, I didn't notice that till just now, the front flippers are different. I kind of wish the little one had this front flipper. There might be a reason why it can't, but this front flipper, oh, I wonder if, no, I guess that was a reverse flick. Yeah, the front flipper is great on this. I kind of wish they did that with this one. Had that little angular thing right there where it angles towards you. It's a little bit sharper jimping. Anyways, I thought that because this one, why would I really care about this one? But then I realized after carrying, using, and I started sharpening this one, I started realizing like, oh my goodness, like this little guy might potentially be better than the big one. And I'm not saying that to be true because I love the big one, but man, it's really awesome, you know, that they were able to do this knife in the small version and make it work so well. You know, and especially because not everybody's going to be able or want to have a large knife like this. This is like a perfect size for most people. Anyways, I don't want to sit here and beat a dead horse, but yes, I think that this is an extremely useful design that is going to be easy to sharpen. It has fun action. The ergos complement it in every way. The one downside that a lot of people are going to see and say, and I understand, is that when you're cutting, especially with the large one, right, and you're choked back here, yes, stuff can hit there and then it can slow you down. But that's why you just choke up. Right? If you want to make a cut and you don't want nothing to hit that choil because you're worried about it, that's when you just choke up and make the cut. And then, you know, if you need to change grips, you can change grips to cut down this way. Like, and that's another thing is that when you start using this, you realize how easy it is to change grips with this knife, which just benefits you in all cutting performances. Like I said, as far as negatives go, that would be one thing that I think people could come to a conclusion of is that, yeah, you could catch on stuff, you know, if you're not conscious about it. But to me, yeah, be conscious about it. Just you know, just know what you're cutting and how you're cutting it. Other than that, the only negative, you know, just the jimping. I'd love to see the front flipper be matched to this one, but it's not a deal breaker. And it works so good. How can I complain? But yeah, man, these things are dope. These things are really dope. And yeah, they definitely are getting a fair shake now since I happen to take a little nap on them. There you guys go. Work hard, stay tough. Till next time. Peace.